And I get why you laugh at my physical flaws. Physical flaws are funny. They just are. Disabilities are not. But some are. Most aren't. We know those ones, you know? Like if there's a 10K or a quilt, it's pretty bad. But the rest are up for debate. And if you're sitting here and you're like, well, when is it ever funny? Well, luckily for you, I have 3 examples. First, foreign accent syndrome. Some of you know about it, some of you don't. It's real. You can look it up on your way out of here. Some people experience head trauma. Not funny. But they wake up speaking their native language with a foreign accent. Very funny. I defy you to watch interviews with these people and not piss yourself laughing. Do you understand? Like a farmer in Alabama who's normally like, that guy hits his head and is now like, the tractor trailer, it fell. A la mer. That's not funny to you, you piece of shit? Really? The best case ever of foreign accent syndrome happened in the UK. Well, not only was it a British woman who lived her entire life in the UK, she'd never left the town she was born in for 33 years. She was in an accident, and she woke up speaking English, but with a Chinese foreign accent. Did you hear what I just fucking said? Do you now believe in God and his awesome sense of humor? A British lady who her whole life was like, hello, it's a bit of a whiffle, isn't it? Like that. Now says, I have not had my conversation voice over 3 years now. First of all, do you know how hard it is to do that impression without squinting? Secondly, if you're getting uncomfortable, like, whoa, he's mocking an Asian accent? No, she's white. This is fine. A white British lady just happens to say, would you like a cup of tea? Tastes good? You want milk? You want biscuit? You want me to suck the dick now? I don't know, whatever. She's a nice British lady. She can say whatever she wants. Now, if you're sitting in your seat right now and you're like, I don't think it's funny. Well, don't get your tits in a tussle. I got 2 more for you. So, what about persistent genital arousal disorder? That is a fancy way of saying never not coming. These are people that have orgasms every 90 seconds, and they can't have jobs. Why can't they have jobs, Tom? Because they're coming all the time. It's not appropriate for you to be like, can I try on this shirt? And the guy's like, ugh. Fuck your shirt. I'm gonna wear my old shit. I'm not wearing your fucking shirt. Can you imagine? You're like, oh, we're out of orange juice? Or, oh. Just bring water. That's too much sugar. I don't want any more of that. Some people suffer from both of those afflictions. You know that? It's rare, but it happens. Can you imagine that? That like you just walk up to someone, you're like, oh, I'm sorry to hear about your dad passing away. And he's like, that feels good. I made that one up. That's not true. But that was cheap, but that was fun. Now, if you're still not on board with this, how about an old, reliable one? You know, how about Tourette syndrome? Yeah. Maybe you've heard of that. If you haven't, let me tell you. When I was in 5th grade, my parents sent me to a new school on a Wednesday. I'll never forget. It was a Catholic school, and on Wednesdays, they had Mass. So picture you're a new student at a new school, you don't know anybody, and the first thing you're doing is you're going to church. So I walk in, and the priest starts the service. He goes, in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the kid in the row in front of me goes, fuck your cunt. And I'm like, Nobody did anything, no one batted an eye. He just goes, Holy Spirit, starts reading from the Bible. This kid goes, lick my balls! Fuck you. I am laughing so goddamn hard. But I know I'm not supposed to laugh. It sounds like I'm having a stroke. I'm 10. I'm like, I have tears running down my face. And finally I'm able to get out, how come nobody else is laughing? And the kid next to me goes, he's got Tourette's. It gets old. 3 years I was at that school. That shit never got old. That was the greatest gift God ever bestowed upon me. And I'll tell you this, the greatest day of my life, up until the day my son was born, was the day we had a substitute teacher that year, and they didn't warn her about him. Your imagination is serving you correctly. It was glorious. I watched a 10-year-old boy break a grown woman's spirit. These poor substitutes, they don't know what's going on in your class, you know? She walked in, somehow they didn't tell her, and she's like, read chapter 3. And then his tics would build, meaning they would start small. So he would sit in class and be like, hey. So she goes, what's going on? And we're like, she doesn't know. And then he would do this every day. He would take markers and paint his own shirt. Again, every day he did it, but she doesn't know about it. So she sees it, she's like, what are you doing? He goes, what do you think, bitch? Ah! Then he starts painting his face with the marker, and she goes, stop that. And he goes, fuck you, bitch, fuck you, fuck you. And she's like, what's happening? What's happening? And we go, that's Kevin, why are you crying so much right now? Like that. And she killed herself, she's dead, so. She's out of teaching, but she's fine, so.
Yeah, I've been on a tour, which no one really has been on this scale or scope before. It's pretty wild. I've toured all of North America, and then I have, you know, Australia, New Zealand. I have Latin America coming up. Then I do Europe, then I do Asia, and then I pass away at the very end. But, you know, my agent wants a boat, so let's hook him up. The best part of international touring, if you're a performer, is that you get treated so much better than you should ever be treated. I mean, my theory is they can't believe you took the flight. I'm serious. My last tour ended in Australia. I got off the plane, and the promoters meet you there. They're like, you're here? And you're like, yeah, we have a contract. I thought we were doing this, you know? And then they offer you the world. It's wild. Like, they go, we're going to take you to the best restaurant in the country tonight. I go, oh, wow, thank you. And they go, tomorrow, you'll be on the field for a rugby match. I'm like, no shit. And they go, the next day, you're going to meet the prime minister. And you're like, this is for stand-up? Are you sure about this? One of them says to me, would you like a private tour through an animal sanctuary? And I was like, yeah, I would. It was amazing. Then the lady in charge of that place goes, would you like to hold a koala? I go, let me ask you something. Who the fuck says no to that? Of course I want to hold a koala. They're adorable. And I did, and it was. And then she walked me out. And she goes, I hope you have great shows in Australia. I said, thank you very much. She goes, can I ask you a favor? I'm like, yeah, anything. She goes, don't make the same koala jokes everybody makes. And I go, you got it. What the fuck would those be? And she goes, you know, because koalas have chlamydia. And I go, wait, what? She goes, most koalas in the wild have chlamydia, but it's a different strain than what humans have. Okay. She goes, everybody makes the same joke. Don't fuck a koala, because you'll get chlamydia. And it's just not true. Okay. And she goes, will you tell people? I will never let her down. And if you guys leave here with anything tonight, I hope it is this. You can go to Australia, and you can fuck all the koalas that you want to, and you will not get chlamydia. Also, speaking from experience, it is not that fun. They wiggle a lot, they smell weird. I recommend a hand job from a kangaroo. They have these little paws, and they let you come in their pouch, and they bring it home to their families. That's a bloomin' onion, mate, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Probably checked into 400 hotels this year. And when I tell you that this has happened to me more than half a dozen times, I am not exaggerating. Every hotel check-in begins usually the same. It's standard. Hotels, the people at the desk, they go, last name? And this just happened to me. Last name? And I go, Segura. And the guy goes, whoa, are you Japanese? And I go, 100%, yeah. And he just goes, oh, we don't get a lot of Japanese people here. That's pretty cool. So I have to stop him and go, hey, man, I'm not Japanese. And he goes, Segura. Segura! Sounds Japanese. I go, that's because you're saying it Japanese. I could be Smith, and if you want to go Smith, and it's Japanese. He goes, well, what are you? Which is fucking rude. Can I just say it's never important to ask that question? What are you? It's never important to ask that. It's sometimes important, but not a lot. When is it important? Sushi chef, accountant, 100-meter dash. Outside of that, sometimes it matters. So I tell him, I go, Segura is Spanish. And he goes, that's weird. You look white. And I go, I am white. And he goes, but you're Spanish? And I go, correct. He goes, do you speak Spanish? I said, yes. He goes, so you're Mexican? And I go, no. And he goes, I don't know what's going on. I said, what's going on is you failed fucking social studies. And you're not too good at geography either. And then I see his head drop, like he feels bad. I'm like, look, man, you understand there's white people in Mexico. You know that part. And he goes, no, I don't. I said, there's white people there, there's black people there, there's even Asian people there. And if you really want to shit your pants, those Asian people, they speak Spanish too. You don't expect it, but they're like, dim sum, muy rico, si lo quiero probar, si no lo quiero probar, concha tu madre, nadie te quiere, anda la mierda. They are Asian, and they speak Spanish.
He's one of those kids that only laughs at real anger. I don't know if you've ever met one of those peaches, but see, most 2- and 3-year-olds, they laugh at manufactured anger, performative anger. You can go up to a kid that age and just go, rawr, and they're like, and this kid's like, mm-mm. I want to see your blood pressure spike, man. The hardest I've ever seen him laugh, it's not even close. It's when he flushed my car keys down the toilet. It was my fault, I guess. I didn't hang them up. I put them on the coffee table that I also bought. And I was laying on the couch, it was a long day. I see his little ass come in the room, see the keys, and he's like, and I go, no, don't. And he picks them up, and he goes, chase me. Down the hall. I go, okay. I give him a head start. He's 3. When I stand up, I see him dip into the bathroom. I'm like, no. And when I get there, and I lose my shit. I don't yell at him. I'm just yelling at my life, I'm like, fuck! No! Fuck! And when I turn, he's like, that's what I'm talking about. I totally respect your commitment to the craft.
Welcome to This Is Not Happening, everybody. Thank you. So here's the show. It's just a bunch of funny people, and we're all telling true stories. Please give it up for a very good friend of mine, Mr. Tom Segura, everybody.
All right. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but comedians' lives are lonely. It's a lonely existence. I mean, you're in airports and hotels and cities with strangers every week. It gets lonely. Like, it really does. Like, you can only masturbate like so many times before you're like, I gotta get something to eat, Like, it's one of those things. You gotta find something to boost you up. You know what's the biggest boost? The biggest spark when you're on the road is actually running into another comedian. It's the best. I can't even describe it to you. It's the one thing that you're like, yes. If it's a comedian you already know, it's like a reunion. If it's a comedian you've never met, there's so much excitement at the potential. You're like, oh, is he gonna be weird? Is he gonna be hilarious? Is it gonna be hilarious how weird he is? Like, there's so much there. It's how I imagine serial killers feel when they meet each other the first time. They're like, you do it differently than the way I do it, but I totally respect your commitment to the craft. Like, you keep their toes in jars. That's nuts. That's awesome. So, I'm at the airport, and I'm waiting to board a flight. And who do I see at the gate boarding the same flight? The comedian, Bruce Bruce. Now, if you don't know who Bruce Bruce is, super successful comic. He's had TV shows. He sells out clubs and theaters everywhere. He's awesome. I've never met him. I see him at the gate. I'm like, I'm going to go talk to Bruce Bruce. And then I go, no, you're not. Bruce Bruce doesn't want to talk to you. So I don't say anything. Then we board the flight, and I get upgraded. Whoop, whoop! Upgraded. And now, who is sitting directly across the aisle from me? Bruce Bruce. Now I can't help myself. Now I have to say something. So I introduce myself to Bruce Bruce. Now, for this to really make sense to you, if you don't know who he is, I have to paint a picture, okay? Bruce Bruce is black, he has dreads, and he's a big boy, all right? Like, when you say your name twice, there's a lot of you. Bruce Bruce is like 4 bills, okay? So, I might name myself Tom Tom if I gain another 100 pounds. So, I'm sitting across the aisle from Bruce Bruce, and I introduce myself, and he could not be nicer. Just to give you an idea of his status, We're at the gate on this plane, and the flight attendant announces that we're stuck at the gate. And she says, you can get off if you want to. Just take your boarding pass with you, and then you can get back on. So as I'm talking to him and they say that, I go, I'm not getting off. And he goes, I'm not getting off. And then a woman, a passenger from the back of the plane, walks up, and she leans down to him, and she goes, I'm getting off. Is there anything you want or need? And he goes, I would love some candy. And she goes, candy? And he goes, Twix, Skittles, shit like that. And then she gets off the plane, and I go, who is that? And he goes, I don't know. And I'm like, are strangers just buying you candy? And he goes, yeah. Like, that's Bruce status, okay? So we keep talking. We start talking about gigs that we've done, and we start talking about comedians and who's funny, who are the funniest comics ever. And we start literally listing comedians through time. Like, we start with, like, Lenny Bruce and Dick Gregory, and we talk about George Carlin and Richard Pryor, all the way through Eddie Murphy, and then to today, you know, Kevin Hart and Dave Attell. And then Bruce says, that's all good, but do you know who the funniest cat of all time is? Now, I think it's a setup. I think he's gonna be like, it's me, bitch. I'm the like, it's like that, right? That's what I think it's gonna be. And I'm gonna let him have it. So I go, nah, like, who's the funniest cat of all time? And he goes, Andy Griffith. And I go, what? And he goes, Andy Griffith. And I go, are you talking about, like, that dude? And he goes, yeah, you ever been to the Andy Griffith Museum before? And I go, what kind of question is that? No, of course not, man. Like, is that real? And he goes, real? They have the car that he used to sit in, and you can sit in it too. And you can touch shit that he used to touch. And he goes, did you ever see episode 215 of the Andy Griffith Show? And I go, no, ass burgers. I didn't see episode 215. And he goes, that's my favorite episode. It originally aired March 13th, 1967. And I go, are you fucking with me right now? And he goes, nah, it was March 13th, 1967. And then he ate Twix, and he didn't talk to me for the rest of the flight. But I am begging you, if you ever see Bruce anywhere, walking around, sitting down, at a show, anywhere, just go, hey man, Andy Griffith is the shit. And he'll be like, oh no, I've been saying that shit. And he'll lose his mind. That's it for me. You guys are the best.
I probably checked into 400 hotels this year. And when I tell you that this has happened to me more than half a dozen times, I am not exaggerating. Every hotel check-in begins usually the same. It's standard. Hotels, the people at the desk, they go, last name? And this just happened to me. Last name? And I go, Segura. And the guy goes, whoa, are you Japanese? And I go, 100%, yeah. And he just goes, oh, we don't get a lot of Japanese people here. That's pretty cool. So I have to stop him and go, hey man, I'm not Japanese. And he goes, Segura. Segura! Sounds Japanese. I go, that's because you're saying it Japanese. I could be Smith, and if you want to go Smith, it's Japanese. He goes, well, what are you? Which is fucking rude. Can I just say it's never important to ask that question? What are you? It's never important to ask that. It's sometimes important, but not a lot. When is it important? Sushi chef, accountant, 100-meter dash. Outside of that, sometimes it matters. So I tell him, I go, Segura is Spanish. And he goes, that's weird. You look white. I go, I am white. And he goes, but you're Spanish? And I go, correct. He goes, do you speak Spanish? I said, yes. He goes, so you're Mexican. And I go, no. And he goes, I don't know what's going on. I said, what's going on is you failed fucking social studies. And you're not too good at geography either. And then I see his head drop, like he feels bad. I'm like, look, man, you understand there's white people in Mexico. You know that part. And he goes, no, I don't. I said, there's white people there, there's black people there, there's even Asian people there. And if you really want to shit your pants, those Asian people, they speak Spanish too. You don't expect it, but they're like, dim sum, muy rico, si lo quiero probar, si no lo quiero probar, concha tu madre, nadie te quiere, anda la mierda. They are Asian, and they speak Spanish.
I don't like when people like they feel. Sometimes you're like, I'm fat, and they're like, It's under my control, you know. It's not like weather where I'm like, oh, these fat pellets are raining down on me. Like, it just happens, you know. But sometimes when I'm eating and I feel feelings, I'll be like, nope. I'll just bury those under this. This is true. Every time I go out to eat with somebody, at least one person will be like, hey man, why are you sweating? Like, what's up with that? You know we're not racing. I'm like, we're not? I thought we were racing. No. The biggest boost to my day, I think, is when I eat myself out of breath. I don't know if you've ever done that before. It's fun when you're eating and you go, and then you have a chance to think about it. You're like, why did I just stop to take a deep breath? Oh yeah, my body also needs air. You fat fucking turd.
I met, like I said, I'm meeting a lot of people. I met a woman after a show recently. They're allowed at my shows, and see, they're here. And she came up to me and she was like, it's a very specific woman, all right? I do feel like I just did a 0.02 second impression. Everybody's like, I know exactly who you're talking about right now. So, because every city has. You know my favorite part of that woman is if you go, why are you laughing? And she'll go, I'm not. Okay. So she comes up to me and she goes, funny show. And I go, thanks. Thanks, motherfucker, I appreciate it. So I go, thank you. And she goes, are you gonna go jerk off all over your hotel room now? And I was like, ugh. I said, I'm probably just gonna pick a spot. You know, I'm not gonna do it. She goes, yeah, I get it. And I was like, good. And she goes, I'm super horny. And I go, okay. She goes, I'm horny the way guys are. And I go, no, you're not. And she goes, yeah. And I said, you're really not. And she goes, yeah, why do you say that? And I said, let me tell you a little story. When I was a freshman in college, I looked like this. I looked 47 years old. It was alarming to other students. They would see me walking through the doors and they'd be like, are you a fucking administrator here or something? I'd be like, I'm a freshman, I'm 18. And they're like, you're a narc, that's what you are. This is my birth face, man. I'm 41 Jump Street. So, with this face came great responsibility. I bought alcohol for our entire dorm. I don't mean 3 or 4, everybody. It wasn't even a challenge. I looked so old that when I walked into liquor stores, they'd be like, hello, sir, how's the stock market today? Shit like that. I bought booze to everybody. Everybody got booze. I did the same thing with pornography. And let me tell you, before you jump at me like, why would you do that? You just watch it in your dorm room online. Well, the story takes place in 1997. And there was a lot of buffering back then. That is the truth. I don't know if you remember the late 90s or if you were even around, but like porn in the late 90s was like, ha ha, Who am I kidding? I use my right hand, so. Now, keep in mind, I'm not buying porn for a couple buddies. It is for an entire building of 18-year-old freshman dudes in college. You can't wrap your head around how massive and specific these orders were. I would go door to door, and guys would hand me cash and their wish list. They'd be like, I want black cocks, asses, and feet. Don't fuck it up. I'm like, all right. Do you know what kind of a psychopath I looked like? Walking through a porn store with a grocery list, like... Mom said not to forget. So one day, I am buying outrageous amounts of porn. And the owner of the store comes up to me. He goes, you should go to this other store. And I'm like, that is a weird thing to tell your best customer, man. So I go, why? He just goes, I just think you'll like it. And so I go, okay. I go. He sends me to, I don't know if you've ever been to a cement block building with no sign or address. The kind of building that's like, I don't know, you fucking guess what's in here. Like that? Well, I walk in and I see a man wearing overalls and no t-shirt, which I think we all know is the international uniform for the last guy you'll ever see. Now, this guy is behind the counter. He looks up and sees me, and the first words out of his mouth are, piss fetish? And I go, what? No. And he goes, oh, I got a full bladder. Don't want to waste it. And I go, what the fuck? I said, is that what you do around here? And he goes, among other things. I said, well then, show me around. Like, let me see what else you have, you know? I don't want to be closed-minded. So we go through the store. He shows me movies and toys. He goes, we got a booth. You can put in a quarter. And I go, yeah, I got it. He goes, but this here's our VIP. And you'll notice there's a hole in the wall. And if you're standing in there, someone might stick their finger through that hole. And they'll go just like this. And if you want to, you stick your prick in that hole and someone will suck it on the other side. And my dumbass goes, is it a guy or a girl? And he goes, you see any other cars in that parking lot, Junior? So then I felt a pool of diarrhea forming inside of me and fear shooting down my spine, as I was certain I was gonna get kidnapped and raped by Mr. Fuck Dynasty. So I said, I'll just take my movies, thanks. So lady, when you say you're horny the way guys are, I ask you, are you willing to go into an unmarked building and wait behind a wall for a stranger to stick his dick through a hole in that wall and then you polish it off for the love of the game? Because that's what savages men are. And she goes, yeah, I'm not that horny. And I go, I know. See, I just feel a responsibility to remind women of what pigs men are. If you're a woman and you're here with a man right now, you should know he is 2 drinks away from walking into that booth. And honestly, I'm no better. If he had answered my question differently, if I'd have been like, hey, is that a guy or a girl? And he went, I don't know. I'd be like, well, I don't fucking know either, so. Wow, she's got a rough chin on her for sure. Hey, where'd you go, man? I don't see you anywhere. All right. All right, I lost some of you on that one. That's fine. That's how that goes. So, I know, I see. Some women are like, My man would never do that. Okay, sure. tell you on a grand scale who's helping nobody lose weight. It's Starbucks. This is true. They have a national training campaign to try to trick you into ordering food. And this is why. They know you're going to order a beverage. So they try to lead you into food. Pull into any Starbucks drive-thru, and now they greet you. They say, "Welcome to Starbucks. What can we get started for you to eat today?" And you're like, "Wait, what? I just wanted coffee." And they're like, "No shit. What else do you want?" So then you're like, "I don't know, sausage? Like, what do you have?" I don't respect that. I like my shame straight up and honest. And nobody does that better than the West Coast burger chain In-N-Out. And if you've never been in In-N-Out, get your fucking life together and go. And I want you to go simply so you can experience the most shameful and honest question in all of fast food. Because you pull up and you go, "I'll have a double, fries and a Coke." And they go, "Will you be eating in the car?" "Yeah, I think so." And they go, "I bet you will, you fat fucking pile of garbage." Doesn't that question sting? You're like, "Am I living in my car? Why am I eating in my car?" Because if you say no, they give you a bag and they're like, "Leave with dignity." But if you say yes, it's an open tray and they go, "Eat out of that, pig." And then it falls in your lap and they go, "Pick it up." And you're like, "How about?" And they go, "Are you gonna jerk off when you get home because you're lonely?" And you're like, "Yeah. We're gonna give you a free milkshake because you're bumming everybody out. We're fast food workers. You're making us sad. Get the fuck out of here."
Sometimes you witness the power imbalance play out in front of you between the genders in a grotesque fashion. Of course, when I say the genders, I am only speaking of 2 of the several hundred that now exist. I would like it to be clear where I stand. I have no problem calling anybody anything they wish to be called. It is no burden on me. You can identify as a shoelace if you want to. And I will call you Zippity Zimzer if you ask me to. Do I think it's a little silly? Yeah, but so is badminton, and that's an Olympic event, you know? So here's what happened. I was shooting a movie a few months back, and one day we wrapped up kind of early for filmmaking. It was late afternoon, and I walk off set, and I notice there's a bar across the street. I go, "I'm gonna walk into this bar, have a drink, go back to the hotel." Simple enough, right? I walk in, I see a woman seated at the bar doing what I can only describe as weird shit. If you're like, "What do you mean, Tom?" Well, I think there's a normal spectrum of behavior that you see from one seated at a bar. You know, if you see them seated there, you might see them go like this, or like, "Hey," or maybe even, "Ha ha ha." This lady is seated at the bar, and she's going, I'm like, is she making fudge? What is she doing over there? I also notice it late. Like, I notice it as I'm walking past it. That happens sometimes, right? Like, you walk, you see something as you're passing it, you're like, "That's some crazy shit," and you keep walking. And then you're like, "I need to see that again. I don't know how I'm gonna see it again." Now I'm dead center, and I see that a woman, to be clear, is in public, 4:30 in the afternoon, and she is sitting there fucking peeling her potato. I don't know, playing with her pussy. You know what I'm trying to say. And she is not hot, if you're wondering. If you're like, was she super hot? No, she wasn't. And because of that, I tattletaled immediately. You know what's up. So I go to the bouncer, I go, "Excuse me. That not model over there is diddling herself at the bar." And this big yoked dude looks And he goes, I go, yeah, talk to her. And he goes, mm-mm. I'm like, excuse me? He goes, I don't want anything to do with that shit. I'm like, I don't think anybody does. There's a woman masturbating at the bar. He's like, ugh, like he's put out by my outrageous request. He's like, all right, man, Jesus Christ. So he gets up, he walks like halfway there, turns around, he goes, yeah, I couldn't do it, man. I go, you have to. So he calls over the hostess, this cute little 22-year-old. He's like, what's up, guys? And he goes, handle that. And she's like, okay. She goes over there, super polite, which is fucked up, considering the circumstances. I can't hear her, but I could read her body language. She's like, hi. And she's like, everybody can see you. And then she goes, stop it. Stop. And she goes, you promise? And she goes, thank you. And she comes back and she goes, she stopped. I'm like, she finished or she stopped? She goes, she stopped. And I go, okay. I'm like, wait, is she allowed to stay? And she goes, yeah. I go, why? And she goes, because she stopped. I go, I'm sorry, would I be allowed to stay? If I was just sitting at your bar, just kind of toying with the top, you know, like. Would you tap me on the shoulder and be like, excuse me, will you put your leaky dick back into your pants? Thanks, you want some chicken fingers or Sprite or something? I say, you called a SWAT team and they would rappel into the building. Someone would crack my fucking head on the side of the bar and you'd have a parade as my corpse was carried out. As she goes, you're right about that. Maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know. I don't jerk off in bars. You ever forget you have kids? Like you're having a great day. And then you're like, oh, fuck. I did do that. I was home for the first day of school this year. I took our youngest. He's in PK, pre-kindergarten. Cute little shit. I did drop-off. I don't mind doing drop-off. I don't like that he doesn't know when to start a story. He always waits till we pull up to school. I pull up to school. He goes, do you know what happened yesterday? And I'm like, why would you wait the whole drive? Oh, it's too late. I don't want to hear it now. I fucking kicked him out of the car. I go to pull out, and the teacher comes up to me. She goes, can you come in? And I go, no. I graduated a long time ago. I don't have to do anything. She goes, all the parents are in there. I go, even more reason why I don't want to come in. She goes, we're talking to the kids about COVID. I go, trifecta. I'm not coming in. She goes, we have a bunch of snacks. And I was like, all right, I'll see what you got. I go in there. She lied. Well, it's not parents, it's dads. They lured us with food. It's a bunch of fat dads shoveling food in their faces. We're gonna talk to pre-kindergartners, let me remind you, about COVID. These are 3- and 4-year-olds who say shit like, I like yellow. And we're gonna be like, there's a virus that has ruined the economy. All right, get out of here. So she's like, who wants to go first? And I was like, hell no. I stood back, and this fucking dildo in boat shoes, he's like, I'll go. He goes, I learned that every day matters. I was like, all right. Good one, dork. And then the next dad, he goes, I learned that you never know what tomorrow might bring. I looked for his kid. I was like, is that your dad? And then I found my kid. I was like, don't play with that kid. You know? She goes, Mr. Segura, do you want to go next? I go, do you want me to go next? Okay, I'll go. Hey, kids. I learned, if you really want to know the truth, I'll tell you the truth. Honestly, I learned that I didn't really wash my hands before. Because I didn't. That's what I've taken from these last few years. Remember, because when it first broke, when they were like, this is AIDS in the air, and you're like, wait, what? What did you say? How do you get it? And they're like, do you ever touch stuff? And you're like, all the time, yeah. Wash your hands. Okay. Do you ever open doors? The CDC asked, do you ever open doors? So many, yes. Wash your hands. You got it. Now I do, I really do. But if I'm being completely honest, back then, I feel like I really only washed my hands when I had literal shit on them. You know, like, you know those wipes where your hand comes up and it's right here on your thumb and you're like, God damn it. I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm not a fucking lunatic. I'm not gonna see that I'm busy. I'm gonna, you know, I'll give it a real scrub. But even then, I'll check my work after. I'll check to see if I did it. Some of you are lying. Oh, I hate when people, oh, that's never happened to me. Really? You've never had a sloppy Joe just fall out of you before? Or a cherry bomb, you know, those, and you're like, it's on both cheeks? How's it on both cheeks? Too many Brussels sprouts, that's how. Now, those will get you. I'm not calling you stupid if you're religious, okay? That's a cheap shot. If religion gives you comfort, I think that's great. I would not call you stupid for that. I would only call you stupid if you read your horoscope. And you make life decisions based on what the planets are doing. I don't know if you've ever spent time with one of these non-contributors, but they're usually sharing their wisdom, like, you gotta go for it, because you're a Pisces. Thanks, Doc. Those are the same people that think it's a miracle to share a birthday with someone. Like, that's a noteworthy event. And then you get to explain how that's not weird. Well, there's a lot of us. And not that many options. It's gonna happen all the time. Those people, ugh. But the ones who make me immediately homicidal are people who get excited about a close to each other birthday, as if that is worth wasting a breath on. I get this in hotels once a month. I check into a hotel, guy will take my ID and he'll be like, you're April 16th, I'm April 3rd. I go, hold on a second. You mean to tell me 2 weeks before I was born, you were born? Oh. Yeah, I've got panty pudding now. I wish my dad was still here, you know? He died a few months ago, and I understand it's part of life. You know, it happens to everybody. And, you know, I'd never visited somebody sick in the hospital. That was a new experience for me. And it's strange, if you've never done it. You get to the hospital, and then somebody that works there goes, are you here to see? And you go, yeah. And they go, yeah, they're gonna die soon. And you're like, I thought so too, that's why I came. And then they go, you can go in there and watch that now. And you're like, thanks. Personally, I feel like watching somebody die that you're not trying to kill is weird, you know? Like, it's different if you have somebody, you know, and you're like, and they go, I'm dying. You're like, I know, I want you dead. That's why I'm doing this. That probably feels good. I don't know. I'm assuming it's a euphoric feeling that you chase forever and ever. But ask Garth Brooks, he'll tell you all about it. So. Come on. Where are the bodies, G? Please. Connect the dots. Now, I will tell you this, I did have a great conversation with my father, and I hope if you're ever in that situation, you get it too. We had this great talk, and then he just drops this on me. He goes, you know what I've never told you? And I was like, no, what? And I was really hoping he was gonna say, you know, there's a treasure buried in the backyard. It's for you. I go, what have you never told me? And he goes, I like a full bush on a lady. And I was like, what? He goes, your mother keeps trimming hers. I go, hey, what the fuck, man? I go, why are you telling me this? And he goes, who am I supposed to tell? I go, the Lord, you're about to meet him. And that was it. And then he said the N-word, and then he died. It was really sad. Is pooping universal? Is that a thing? Here's something I just found out. I just found out that not everybody has diarrhea every day. I didn't know that. Seriously, here's how I found out. We moved. My wife and I moved to a new place. In the new place, the living room couch is closer to the bathroom than it was in the old place. So the second day we're there, I go in there, I do my thing. When I walk out, my wife is no longer sitting on the couch. She's now standing, holding car keys, and she goes, do you need to go to the hospital? And I go, for what? And she goes, for what just happened in there? And I go, what just happened in there? And she goes, is that normal for you? And I was like, I don't remember what happened, so I guess so. And she goes, Jesus, how often do you shit like that? And I was like, every day. And she goes, oh my God, is there blood in there? And I was like, there could be. I don't know. Like, I just go, bop, and then I hit flush, you know? And she goes, you don't look at it? And I'm like, where am I supposed to look? It's everywhere. You want me to look at each individual piece? No, I fucking paint the bowl and then I wash it away. That's how I found out that not everybody has diarrhea every day. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I went to the doctor, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to get a checkup, see what's going on. The honest truth is, I knew it wasn't going to be awesome, okay? I knew the doctor wasn't going to be like, you might be surprised to hear this, but you're perfect. Like, you're a perfect physical specimen, man. I knew that wasn't going to happen, but I didn't expect him to be a dick. Usually they're not. I feel like in my experience, doctors are polite. Almost overly polite, where it's phony and condescending. When they go, oh, really interesting story you got there. Doctors do that because you're telling them a story, and doctors don't want to hear a story. Doctors want to hear, this hurts. Not, I was over at my friend Charlie's house, and we went to move the ottoman, and, I mean, you can use it as a coffee table, or you could use it as an ottoman, it's up to you. And your doctor's like, I want to blow my fucking brains out right now. I go in there, I sit on the exam table, which is my least favorite table to sit on in the world. This is the only table that in 30 years I've sat on where my feet don't touch the ground. So I feel like a fucking toddler waiting like... My doctor comes in. He doesn't say hello. He doesn't say good morning. He just walks in. He points at me, which is super aggressive, you know? To start a conversation with somebody like, hey, man. You're like, hey, what's up, man? And he goes, do you want something for your hair? And I go, what? And he goes, do you want something for your hair? And I go, I don't get it. And he goes, has nobody told you that your hair's falling out? And I was like, damn. No. And he goes, oh, sorry. All right. Then he pulls my chart out of the slot, super dramatic, so that it makes a fucking noise. He goes, I'm like, and he goes, wow. And I'm like, really? Wow. Is it full-blown AIDS? Like, why is it wow? And he goes, you weigh 245. And I go like, yeah, like I knew that shit. And he goes, you weighed 230 last time you were here. Not exactly what I would call weight loss. And I'm like, are we at a fucking roast or something, right? Like, what are you doing? Then he says, you know, you're the fattest patient I've seen all day. And I go, it's 9:30 in the morning. And he goes, still. He's like, you know, we ran your blood work. It turns out your muscle enzymes are through the roof. And I go, yeah, man, like, I'm super strong. Like, how is that a problem? And he goes, they're off the charts. I'm like, even better. I'm probably your strongest patient, man. And he goes, I don't think you understand muscle enzymes. And I go, that's true. I don't know what they are. And he goes, well, the only way you could have them this high would be like, A, if you were an Olympic athlete, which clearly... I'm like, dude, what is the deal, man? And he goes, the other way would be if you were a cocaine addict. And I go, I don't do coke. And he goes, I'm your doctor. You don't have to lie to me. And I go, I'm not lying. And he goes, I can't treat you if you're not going to be honest. And I go, hey, man, aren't cokeheads skinny? Isn't that like part of the deal? And he goes, usually, yeah. The nurse comes in, she takes my chart out of his hands, and she goes, oh my God, his muscle enzymes are so high. Maybe he runs marathons. And my doctor goes, look at him. So at this point, I go, this was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me today. I'm gonna leave now. And he goes, all right. And he goes, hold on a second. Do you have a ring on your finger? And I go, yeah. And he goes, you're married. And I go, yeah. And he goes, to a guy? And I go, no. And he goes, oh, I thought you were gay. And I go, why? And he goes, oh. I'm like, all right, dude. And he goes, hey, I'm just kidding. And I go, that's fine. He goes, but check it out. And he takes my chart and he shows it to me, and he had written gay ? On my medical chart. The thing that gets sent to other doctors has his inside, maybe he sucks cock joke written on it. I went home, I told my wife, she's like, oh my God, what are you gonna do? And I was like, what do you mean? And she goes, I mean, are you ever gonna go back there? I'm like, are you out of your mind? That's the funniest fucking doctor in the world. Of course I'm going back there. I have like Don Rickles as my primary care physician. It's amazing. I'm faking injuries to go back to this guy. You know you're a piece of shit. I'm like, I know.
Working our way through all those muck-luck countries and listening to their jibber-jabber, I was like, why don't you speak the fucking world's language, asshole? So, good to be here. We were in London yesterday. A couple days ago, we were with the Frogs in Paris. Beautiful city, you know, I hadn't been in years, but beautiful. It is, it's a gorgeous city. And then they're like, do you want to know when this was built? And I'm like, no. You know? I see it, I don't need the whole story. Isn't that annoying at some point when they're like, do you want to know how long it took me to make this painting? No, just let me look at it and then get out of here. I don't care. Before that was Amsterdam, which is like a utopia. I mean, unbelievable, right? I mean, you take it for granted because it's so close. You walk, it looks like a movie set, and then you're like, there's not even homeless people here? Like, what do you do with them? And they're like, we push them into the canal. As they sleep, they never feel a thing. You know? Really? You're taking that idea home. Before then was Berlin. Well, that. Learn not to ask so many history questions there. They don't even tell you the good stuff. You're like, where'd he shit? What happened? I just asked the wrong person the wrong thing. I was kind of into the history for a second. I was like, I had a driver, you know, and I go, oh, were you here when the wall collapsed? Like when the wall came down? And she was like, yeah. And I go, what was that like? And she was like, it was a fun time. I go, you want to be more specific? And she goes, we ate bananas. I was like, I'm sorry. And she goes, yellow bananas? And I go, yeah, they're always yellow. Like, that's what you did? And she was like, yeah. And I go, to celebrate the fucking end of communism? And she was like, this is what we do in my house. And I was like, no more questions. So, and before that, we were in Budapest, where they are not fucking around. They were like, do you want to throw a rock at a gay right now? I don't think I brought enough money to do that. And they were like, no, for fun. I was like, all right. Yeah, you can hide a few bodies in that place, but
I can't tell you where to go. I can tell you where not to go. Wherever they film the first 48 on A&E. Oh, if you're not familiar with the show, here's what it is. Camera crews follow real homicide detectives for the first 48 hours after a murder. And the reason that time distinction is so important is that after 48 hours, they give up on that murder. They're like, that's some old shit. What do you want to do today? You're like, how about you keep trying to solve that murder, man? That shit happened on Monday. It's Wednesday. We're not going to solve that shit. Really. There are so many amazing moments on that show. So many. A lot of the episodes take a similar path. I'm blown away, first of all, at how many times there's a witness to a murder. It's crazy. I always thought murders happen in dark alleys. Nobody saw shit. No. Every other episode, they're like, you see that shit? And the guy's like, I saw that shit, yeah. Where? Right fucking here. Really, I was standing here, and then he killed that dude there. Like, what'd he look like? He was like 5'2" to 6'8", something like that. And they're like, that's the fucking description you're gonna give us? Uh-huh. Anything else about him? Yeah, he had ears too. Thanks, man. No problem. They still will sketch that shit out. I don't know. And they show it to people. Do you know this guy? And everyone's like, nah. But then one guy will be like, yeah! That's Cricket right there. You're like, oh shit. You know him? I've been knowing Cricket 27 years. What's his real name? Man, that's just Cricket. I don't even know. Stop being white and weird. That's a perfect fucking impression, and you know exactly who that was, okay? Yeah, it's a black guy, and he's wearing a wife beater, and he's got on a dirty hat, and he's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. And he looks like he's about 33, but you find out he's 76 years old. And he speaks super aggressively to the cops. I've been out here for a minute! And they're like, all right, Jesus Christ. When was the last time you saw him? He came through with jellyfish last week. They were looking for some smoke. And they're like, all right, Jesus Christ. They always cut to the whitest detective from that guy, too. They cut from that guy to the guy who's like, I don't think he's gonna help us out. We're gonna have to find Cricket on our own. That show has the best moment in television. It's the most dramatic thing you could ever see, because it's real life, and that is the interrogation. The interrogation is amazing, because here's the thing about drama. If you want to have a great, dramatic moment, raise the stakes. Guess what? There's no higher stakes than somebody being questioned about taking somebody else's life. It's inherently compelling television. It is also super serious. But the detectives insist on using the suspect's street name, so the whole thing turns into a fucking cartoon. Like, they're literally like, your life is on the line. We need to talk to you. Why don't you have a seat? Little stank, why don't you sit down for a second? Did you or did you not know Dookie shoes? I don't know no Dookie shoes. I got a picture of you hanging out with Dookie shoes. I mean, I seen them. I don't know. And then they'll throw one bit of evidence against the wall, hoping it'll solve the case. They'll be like, well, we were talking to Naamin, and he said that you were at the 7-Eleven last week. And he'll be like, yeah, I shot him in the face. And you're like, God damn, really? That's all it took to break you? Dude, lie. Lie for longer. You can kill somebody, you can't lie for 10 fucking minutes about it? Like, dudes will break on anything. They'll be like, we heard you had on a blue shirt last Friday. Yeah, I stabbed those 4 people. Dude, a lot of people have blue shirts, man. You can still get out of this. Here's what I've learned watching that show, okay? Lawyer up. You can't handle that shit. Everybody's like, I'm gonna talk to the cops and straighten this whole thing out. You're gonna do 25 to life. Have fun with that, man. Nobody asked for a lawyer. I've seen 300 people get interrogated on this show. 2 of them were like, can I talk to a lawyer? And both times the detectives were like, fuck! And then at the end of those episodes, it said on the screen, all charges against Tayshaun were dropped. Or Jim, pick a fucking name. Let's be honest, there's no Jims on the show. I've seen every episode, and none start with, hey, Bryce, can we talk to you for a second, man? Where were you last Friday? I was over at Tanner's house. Then Skylar had a party, so we went over there. And then we picked up Connor and we had pancakes. Sorry, bro. Good detective, bro.